Hi, this is Ms. Serratis. As part of Project Lead the Way, you're going to learn how to code a microbit. So here is what a microbit looks like. The front of the microbit, you've got your grid, you have here your A input button, your B input button. Down here, these are called pins, pin 0, 1, 2, 3 volt and ground. In the back of it, we have all of these different sensors, which right now, none of this makes any sense. But what I just wanted to show you is that we have some pretty high-tech technology, and you're going to learn how to actually code it and make things happen with it. So the website that we're going to be using for coding your microbits is called the makecode.microbit.org, which you should have a link for. So to get you started, I recommend that you work on these tutorials. There are several tutorials. You start with the one that says flashing heart. You just keep going and it ends with microchat. So most kids are able to get through love meter all the way through love meter without just, no problems. But sometimes the microchat could be a little bit challenging. And if it is, don't worry about it. And then skip down to the game section, and then you'll notice there's a whole bunch of different games that you can go ahead and learn how to program. And if you keep going, there are even more games, radio games, fashion stuff, music. And if you keep going, you'll find videos of what you can actually do with a microbit. So you have an idea, like, what is all this coding doing? What am I actually doing with the microbit? So there's lots of different videos for you to explore. So keep in mind that as you're doing some of these tutorials, some of them are going to require to have an actual microbit on you. Since you don't physically have a microbit, you'll need to just skip those. Again, with anything requiring like duct tape and cardboard and things like that, again, because you don't have a physical microbit, just skip through them. So you're not required to do all of these tutorials. You will be required to do some of them. The main goal is to become familiar with the programming of a microbit and how to actually get through the coding. I will tell you that if you want to get ahead, one of the games that will actually be required for class is this one called rock, paper, scissors. So I do actually make you do that one. So if you get it done ahead of time, that's awesome. So how do you actually do the tutorials? Well, you want to start with the first one. It's called the flashing heart. If I click here, it's going to bring you to this section here. So it says to play the video lesson. So I'm not 100% positive if the video lesson will work or not. If it does, awesome, play it. Otherwise, let me show you another way. First, you have to decide what programming language you're going to use. You could use blocks, Python coding, or JavaScript. So I teach this class using blocks, but if you are more advanced when it comes to coding and you want to use Python and JavaScript, go ahead. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the blocks tutorial. And here is what my finished product should look like. It's a flashing heart on the grid of the microbit. So this is what we need to do. So I'm going to click OK. And there's a watch video. Again, I'm not positive the videos will work. So now it's actually showing me to go and pull out a show LED block and to draw a heart on it. It also tells me to do that right here. So this is called a drawer. It's the basic drawer. If I open up the basic drawer, these are different blocks, and the blocks that I need is the show LED, and I need to put it in the forever. And then it's telling me to go ahead and draw a heart on it. So I'm going to do the best I can with my artistic ability. Okay, I think that kind of looks like a heart. Works for me. And then I just completed step 2. I'm going to hit the next. And then the next, it says to place another show LED. So here's my emulator. The emulator is basically a virtual representation of what's happening. If you had an actual LED, an actual microbit, this is what would be happening. So it wants me to go back into my basic drawer and grab a blank one and put that there. So it says you can leave it blank or draw what you want. I'm going to leave it blank, and I'm going to click on next. And then if I look at the emulator, you see that the heart is flashing because let me make this a little smaller. There we go. If I look at the programming, you'll see that it's on a forever loop. first you want it to show a heart, and then you want it to go blank, and then the program ends, and because it's forever, it goes back to the beginning, and it goes heart blank, heart blank, heart blank, and it keeps going until you're done. If I were to just add a dot, it's going to go ahead and go heart dot, etc. So this is now complete, the flashing heart. Keep in mind, if you make a mistake on the bottom right hand, you've got your undo, your redo. You also have your zoom ins and your zoom outs. That'll help you. And there'll be more blocks, but for the tutorial, they're just keeping it simple. So if I could do next, it says that I am finished and I need to hit the download button, which is actually hidden. It's a purple button. It's down here on the left. And I highly recommend that you hit the download button because, so I only had to hit that. I didn't have to hit anything else. One thing I should have had you do is also save, but it looks like in the tutorial there's no save option. But if you're making your own coding, there'll be a save button right here where you want to save your work and then hit the download. So the reason why I'm asking you to download it is because you did not create, here we go. When I exit the tutorial, it showed up. So it automatically called it the flashing heart. I would just hit the disk to save it and make sure you download it. And when you download, it should go automatically to the files on your Chromebook. So when you when you went into this website, you did not have to sign in. You did not create an account. There's no username. There's no password. So your work will be quote unquote saved for a short period of time on the device that you are using. So if you're using your Chromebook, it'll be saved onto the Chromebook. But then if you're doing something at a different computer, it'll be saved there. There's no account linking them together. However, if you download them, later on I can show you how you can transfer that download file to another computer. But if you don't download it, within about a month, all your files will be deleted. I'm not quite sure how long the Microbit will keep your files there. It may be a month, it may be 60 days. All I know is at some point it's all going to be deleted. So let's look at this Microbit coding environment. These here are called drawers. So it's like kind of like the top of the menu. And there's lots of different drawers. And then inside each of the drawers are what we call the different blocks that you would be using. So under the basic drawer, these are the different blocks that you would use. Under the input drawer, these are the different blocks that you would be using. So et cetera, et cetera. So it's important that you become somewhat familiar in how to navigate around. One of the drawers that are super popular is the music drawer. Kids who are musically inclined have been known to create programs where you actually play a song. I actually had a student do the Mary Had a Little Lamb song just because they knew all of the notes involved and they figured out how to program it and they did it. So again, play around with it. If you are a Java script person, if I click here, this is what the Java code would look like. So that's one of the reasons why I decided that I would use blocks. But if you are totally into Java, this is the line of code for Java. This is the line of code for blocks. So technically the onStart was not needed. I could have just trashed it and this was just the code. So when you're finished, again, make sure you save, hit the download and go back to home. So that actually did not take that long. I just took me a while to explain everything, and any of your projects will be saved along the top. If you just want to play with it, you want to do a new project. So then what you want to do is make sure you go and complete all the tutorials that you're able to complete and explore some more stuff down here. Now, if you really love this and you're like, you know what, Mr. S, I really want to get into this stuff. I want to learn some more about coding. Let me give you a different website you can look at. And this is the actual microbit.org website. And if you scroll down, you will notice that they have here lots of other different games or different coding projects that you can do. So the first set is the beating heart, which is basically the flashing heart that we had. Making emojis, which you definitely want to learn how to make emojis. We have how to code to make a step counter and a couple other ones. So feel free to explore these. I believe they come with a video that you can just go ahead and click on the video and learn how to do the coding part of it. So become familiar with microbits because that is part of Project Lead the Way, and we are going to learn how to make some really cool projects once we start adding sensors and stuff with it. Have fun with it. Bye for now.